Welcome to the final installment into the Invest Podcast preview. I'm your host, John Ross. Thanks for joining me. I'm coming to you on a Saturday. I'm hoping everybody is enjoying their weekend out. Weather is beautiful. I was out with my daughter earlier today. Went to the park, went to see the ducks, did some good stuff. Great weather out there. A lot of things are starting to open up. We went through a really all of us have really went through a really rough time this past year and a half, and dealing with this pandemic. You know, the thing about it is that we all went through it. It wasn't just one part of the world. It wasn't just one state. It wasn't just this person or that person. No matter what color you are, no matter what, age range, no matter what social, background, your wealth class, from rich to poor, everybody dealt with this. And it seems that we're coming out of it, and things are getting a lot better. The full episodes of the Invest podcast are actually going to be premiering May the 31st. We got some really good stuff for you. One thing I wanted to showcase on this podcast was different types of investors to try to motivate everybody, inspire everybody to invest in oneself. And what you choose to invest in may be different than me. It may be different than one of my guests. I'm just hoping that you can take something and learn something from every unique individual that comes and visits the Invest podcast. Remember, you can follow and subscribe to the Invest podcast video portion on YouTube. The Invest podcast is available in Apple on the Apple Podcast platform. We are also in Amazon Music. We are in Spotify. We are actually in Google Podcast as well. So we got a lot of good stuff coming for you. It's going to be an awesome summer. It's going to be the summer of investments. Let me first jump into it and talk about one of my first guests that's actually going to be stopping by the podcast. A man by the name of Prince Daniels Jr. You can actually Google him and type him in. You can learn a little bit about him. I'm actually going to post a link. You can actually look up some of the first few guests that are going to be coming onto the podcast. What I like about this guy and what's so unique about him is he does really great things. First of all, he is a NCAA record holder. He was a tailback. He was actually a walk-on at Georgia Tech. His coach told him that he would never make the team. Told him he would never play in the National Football League. So you gotta be wired different. You have to be a unique individual to be able to come and really surpass the expectations that were set for you and to not believe any of that nonsense. He also holds a record in the Humanitarian Bowl, which is a bowl championship style game. The man ran for 311 yards, 4 touchdowns. It is a record that still stands today. He played tailback for a few years for the Baltimore Ravens. Injuries and things like that, which are common in sports at a high level, especially in NFL, forced him to walk away from the game. He's an author. He founded the organization of Game Beyond The Game, which actually helps former athletes find their purpose in life outside of the game. It's really hard for athletes, some of them, to transition out of the sport that they love, that they're good at. A lot of these individuals play these sports from kids and on up. So some of them get out of the NFL, get out of the NBA. They don't know who they are outside of the game. So that organization helps with that. He'll be touching on that. We're going to talk about his book. We're going to talk about his time in the league. He actually is the 4th leading rusher in Georgia Tech history, and he also has a podcast, so you can actually follow the Prince Daniels podcast, and he is in Apple Podcasts. Really good stuff and motivational. And another guest I'm actually going to be having on is in the area that I have a good amount of expertise in, and it's weight loss. A man by the name of Rusty Osbourne. He's actually a musician as well, And his niche, he specializes in helping men lose weight, men get fit, especially musicians, things of that nature. And he's passionate about it. And the man has some great stuff, great slogans, pushed a lot of people to be their best. He believes that one of the most important things for you to invest in is your body and your health. A lot of us put a lot into our careers and we put a lot into our crafts, but he feels that if you're not investing in mind and body, eventually you're going to have a lot of problems. So that definitely needs to be one of the most important things. He's an awesome guy. He has a podcast as well, the Rusty Osbourne podcast. You go ahead and check that out. Got some good stuff. I'm also going to be posting a link about it as well. And this other guest is actually somebody that I know pretty well. I know some personal investors. I know some entrepreneurs. I know some business people. I know some athletes. I know some people that are doing some great things. I know some people that are doing some big things, even here in the city where we stay, Sacramento. So it would be only right that I showcase that as well. She is a entrepreneur. She is a clothing brand owner by the name of Tenisha Mitchell. I've actually known her since elementary school, so we grew up as little kids. She has an awesome brand. I'm also going to be posting some links about that as well. And the logo, the slogan, it promotes you to embrace self-love, self-worth, acts of kindness toward your fellow person, and really aims to really push, embrace kindness worldwide toward everybody. So great gear, great stuff. I've actually ordered some merchandise myself. Gonna be having her stop by the podcast to talk about her journey. Where did her idea come from? You know, what were her steps to getting started? What are her plans for the future? And I would say that I'm very proud of her, and I see the success that she's having, and I definitely believe that sky is the limit for her. And we're definitely gonna be chatting. She'll be stopping by the podcast. There's just a few people I got many more already lined up. Got some surprises in there for you. Again, the Invest Podcast. This is your podcast. This is the investment podcast. We have a little bit of something for everybody. What I mean by for everybody is for everybody who wants to be better. Everyone doesn't want to be better. Everyone doesn't want to improve. You know, everyone doesn't want to invest in themselves. And that's okay. But if you are one of those people that wants to be better, you want to be inspired to be better, you want to show where we interview and we speak to amazing people that are doing great things for themselves or for the communities and things like that, then this podcast is for you. I'm John Ross. Thanks for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. The Invest Podcast full episodes are coming May 31st. It's going to be a summer of investing. See you next time.